Okay, I think we are live on the channel. Okay, so I know, firstly, a big sorry because I am uh, again late on the live session, but there was some technical problem uh, with regards to audio of the live stream, and there was some problem with the video also. So it's better to give a good content in the end than to give a okay content on time. So big sorry for that. Firstly, we were expecting that there will be some good result for Australia in the morning, but there was some hard toil waiting for them. So in this second live session, firstly, it will going to be in English. We are trying to do something different here, and trying to create the content in a different way. Ashes, the biggest rivalry on the game. Many of you must be thinking that India versus Pakistan is the biggest rivalry. Yes, it is definitely the biggest rivalry, but nothing can replace the ultimate rivalry of England and Australia. England and Australia is something a kind of a big rivalry that we are currently seeing. It was started way back, but there is no need to talk about the history of that. Currently, Australia is dominating that. So we are going to talk about this second test match that was played in Adelaide Oval, day and night test match with the pink ball. And Divya will also be joining with us to talk a lot about the whole 5 amazing days of test cricket. So I would like to add him into the stream.
So, hello,
Yes,
Prince.
Divya. Welcome
Yes,
back on the show after a long time.
yes, after a long time. Yes,
Yes. So let's give our audience the whole statistics of this match, how this whole match panned out. Here are something that the Australians and the English did in these 5 days. So, firstly, there were some injury scares for Australia. There was some bad news as their skipper, Patrick Cummins, was out of this whole week from the Ashes series due to the COVID scare that he caught, and it was a precautionary measure for the quarantine. And then we saw Stephen Smith captaining Australia after a long period of 45 months and dominating it and showing the world that he's ready again for the captaincy. England again showing those weak signs of their batting order, not really converting those good starts, and again falling into the same trap of quality pace bowling. Uh, so, with the context of the match, uh, Australia won the toss and they definitely opted to bat first. They got a big mammoth of the target, big mammoth of the first inning score
run.
with the help of Manas Labuschagne, and then the whole match panned out. Yes, Divya.
So yeah, as you mentioned, Australia won the toss. Starting from the toss, Australia won the toss, and Manas Labuschagne. Wow, what a player! He scored an 100. For your information, viewers, Manas Labuschagne scored 1400 runs while batting in the first inning. So yeah, out of 2,000 runs that he scored 1,400 runs in a first inning and scored 5 centuries in first inning. Yeah, and with one double hundred, he was good. He was he was he was he was he was in struggle in the starting, but after scoring 50, he was phenomenal. Was pulling he was pulling the Anderson, Broad, and yeah, Robinson. Definitely, he was treat to watch.
Definitely treat to watch. But when you give some good Christmas presents to the player like Manas Labuschagne, you need to pay the price for that. He
Yes,
was dropped at the score of 21 on the first day. He was dropped at the score of 95 by Josh Butler again. One was the sitter, the second was the babysitter,
babysitter. Yes,
and third was a suicide. because that was a no ball. So I don't know what kind of a luck that Manas Labuschagne bring on the field for the first 2 days, especially. And one thing that I can observe with the scorecard was that he scored 103 runs. Okay, definitely, but it was a kind of a Rahul Dravidish or Pujara-ish inning, not a kind of a very fast inning that we can see. Uh, so the conditions were not really friendly, and there was again another thing. There was quality in bold letters in the form of Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson. So
Definitely,
they
Vince.
were. I think
Yes,
David Warner was not getting out to Stuart Broad in this match directly, but indirect way Stuart Broad will only get David Warner.
yes, he
He
caught,
got him.
yes, while
Yes.
fielding. Yes, Prince. You know what? When David Warner played that shot, there was only fielder in this position, and that was Stuart Broad. There were no fielders after else Stuart Broad, and still he managed to got uh, caught by Stuart Broad. That's funny. Don't you think it's funny?
Stuart, I think Stuart Broad and David Warner are having a kind of a thing. But there were some tough chances for England to take, and when your batting is not doing that great things on the field, you need to take those chances, I feel. But
Yes,
anyways, they didn't took those chances in the first match also, and not even in the second match, and that cost them in the form of the result. But the another player that I would like to talk about is Captain Steven Smith,
yes,
the one who captained them in 2017, who captained Australia in 2017 Ashes, and then after this Ashes only, after 2017. So it was a kind of a whole circle. Started in 2017 when he won that Ashes, and then he went to South Africa, and then the ball tampering happened, and then he was banned from playing for the period of 12 months, and then he came back. And the way that he came back as a captain was something phenomenal to see.
yes, definitely, Prince. Because he was appointed as a vice captain of Australian team, and Pat Cummins was the captain. And suddenly, the day before the game, we heard the news that Pat Cummins is not available. Pat Cummins is not available for the game, and right away, Stevens team named as a captain of Team Australia again, and we have the numbers that he's a phenomenal captain. He scored over 3,500 runs with an average of 70, and yes, we can only compare him with Sir Don Bradman. Yes, and he's a lot now. He's a lot of runs behind his name as a captain, and yeah, it was a great decision by Team Australia to appoint him back as a captain.
The term Bradmanus suits Steven Smith rightly.
Yes,
The conversion rate is phenomenal, scoring 1500. So the hundreds are more than the 50s. 70 is average, and scoring at a hefty rate. Madly scoring runs, only behind Sir Don Bradman when it comes to scoring more runs. And
as a
with
captain.
regards to the average, Don Bradman is ahead
Oh,
of him. And I think the move was right. You can't punish someone for the crime that they did a long back. And the main thing is that he had also done the redemption. He was given the ban of 12 months. The thing is that the Australian captain is the most important person in Australia after prime minister or their politician is not the right way to judge when we see the international cricket. He had done his redemption, and I think he is ready to take up the captaincy. But currently, Australian Cricket Board had made Patrick Cummins as their captain, and let's see what they can achieve under his captaincy. But when Pat Cummins was not available, there was an opportunity for Michael
Yes.
Nesser, who was a kind of a way waiting for an opportunity for since a long period of time. How do you see his inclusion in the side? Michael Nesser is a phenomenal all rounder in the domestic circuit.
Yes, he's a bowling all rounder. He can bowl a good length. He can consistently bowl on the same length and make you mistake and got you out. So he's a great player. When it comes to batting, he can score some quick runs at the end, and we've seen in the test match that played at the Oval in the first inning, he scored some 20-30 runs in a run in the same in 20-30 balls also. Yeah, he's a good ad.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. He was absolutely sensational when it comes to his bowling and with his lines. He was decent in a way, in many things, but we need to see more of Michael Nesser to understand his way of playing and the style of playing. But he's a good value aiding player for Australia.
Yes.
So now, Divya, if one thing happens for a while, or so for example, once it is happening, second time it is happening, then you need to see why it is happening, and third, it could be a disaster. But again and again, these batting collapses are happening for the English fragile batting order. We saw that at Nottingham, Trent Bridge, first Test match between India and England in their own home turf. We saw that in Ahmedabad in the pink ball Test match, where there were quite a few selection blunders that they did at the starting. We see that in New Zealand again and again the same patterns are being followed. Their openers are not surviving the new ball, the new cherry, and the middle order is exposed very early. The youngsters are not showing those positive signs for them. What do you feel about their batting order?
Firstly, Prince, the batting order is quite fragile, as you said. But when I see Rory Burns, he scored a century. He scored an Ashes century last year, but he's not the same guy that we used to see and that we used to see because there is a pattern that in the same pattern he's getting out. So that's the sign that there is a problem in his technique. So yeah, and the second opener Hamid, he was quite promising at his debut against India, and after 4 5 years he get a chance again to represent England. He was quite decent against again India, but he's not the same. He's not the same quality when he played against Australia or out of England, because
The
they
bounce
are
is
ready
the
to.
bounce is a bit
Yes,
different, I
yes,
think. There,
yes, definitely. The bounce is the concern, and that made them out. Yes,
he is a kind of a promising lad. When we see Hashim Hamid, he's a tall guy. He's a fighter. But with regards to scoring run, there are some technical flaws, and we will not going to talk about those technical flaws. But I don't see Rory Burns playing in the next Test matches coming up. I think Zach Crowley is definitely making the way. The one guy that we all are disappointed with his performance is definitely the Uli Pope, because he is considered to be the successor, or what we can say, a continuous replacement of Joe Root. And playing 14 15 test matches and not converting those good starts. He got a good 100 in South Africa before the COVID struck in the starting of 2020. But you can't hang in there with this kind of form, I think. One match would be given probably to Uli Pope, and then maybe if he can't perform there, then things could get tricky, and
yes,
then Lawrence could get an opportunity, I think.
yes. I think ECB will take some strict actions after this test match, because If they could have managed to draw this test match, it could be the best escape that we have ever seen in cricket. But still, they managed to fail.
Yes, but we can't take some credit away from the left armor Mitchell Stark. He
Yes,
was I don't know what kind of love affair that he have with the day and night test matches. Here are some of his numbers: 9 matches, 52 wickets, economy of around 3 and 3 fifers. Uh,
definitely.
yes, Divya. What
Yes,
makes this guy special, according to you?
uh, his height, his speed, and his aggression made him special. Firstly, and his ability to take wickets, Prince, because he is the only guy who takes 50 wickets in pink ball in a day-night test match. Yeah, he was amazing. He was especially amazing in the first inning. He took 4 wickets, and yeah, those wickets were magical.
Those wickets were magical. I remember the time in 2015, in the later end of the 2015, when I first heard that there's something called as day-night test match, and it will be played with pink ball. Mitchell Stark was there. I think the first pink ball wicket that we saw was by Mitchell Stark in pink ball. The match was played in Adelaide Oval in the end of 2015 against New Zealand.
New
It was New
Zealand, yes,
Zealand
New Zealand.
that were touring Australia at that point of time, and Mitchell Stark is kind of a way dominating Adelaide Oval and pink ball test match. We remember, and there are some scary memories of 2020 summer
2020 years.
20 summer that
Yes.
we recall of 36 all out.
Yes.
Anyways, but now uh, we talk about all these guys who are very much known in the cricketing fraternity, but there is another guy who is making his mark to the international cricket. Maybe there are few cricket experts who don't rate him very high now. But in the Australian cricketing fraternity, he is making some big statements. The guy who is next to me in the screen is not probably with this view, but I think he could be the successor of Shane Watson or Freddie Flintoff or I can't say Jack Callis because he's a legend, but again, uh, I know there are some people who are agreeing with my views, and I'll show that. But what do you think about Cameron Green, Divya?
Yes, Cameron. Firstly, you said that I am not a big admirer of Cameron Green. That's right, but can't, you can't, you can't. What say? You can't ignore that he took wicket of Joe Root in first and second Test match, because it was not like that Joe Root was taking over him and he was ready to score big runs, and he caught at the boundary, and because he genuinely made Joe Root out by by taking his edge twice. Yeah, it was amazing.
Uh,
It was,
and there is and there are some agreements from Michael Vaughan
yeah,
by agreeing on some of the facts that he is trying to do. So basically, he's saying that there is some similarity between Freddie Flintoff and uh, at the starting phase of Freddie Flintoff and Cameron
Cameron
Green.
Green. While it
Uh,
comes to bowling, yes,
yes, I think there was an interesting observation there when it comes to his bowling action that Freddie Flintoff used to have in the earlier days. That was quite similar to that which Cameron Green is currently having.
yes,
So that's the thing. But if he can achieve 50% of Freddie Flintoff, then also it would be a big thing for Australia, what they
yeah,
are expecting.
yes, yes.
And
That's the thing. Yes.
yes,
Yes, Prince. I was about to say that if he achieves what Flintoff has achieved, at that then. Yes, Australian can say that it was a great career. It was a successful career of Cameron Green.
Absolutely, definitely. But statistics are sometimes very much manipulating, and we will definitely see those manipulations in the time coming ahead, because whenever we will see the scorecard of this match, of the second test match of the Adelaide Oval, we'll not see the contribution of Josh Butler, because he was not the highest scorer. He didn't score those big hundreds. He was not scoring those big sixes, those flamboyant sixes that he could hit in the limited overs of the game. But Josh Butler was trying to prove a point that he could play Test cricket. He was just defending the ball, and there was only one way in which the Australians can get Josh Butler out, and that was with the help of hit wicket. What would you like to say about his inning?
uh, Prince, before going to his inning, if yesterday you would ask me a question that what's Joe Root, so I'll say, Prince, Joe Root is a great white ball batsman. He can hit those big sixes with the effortlessly, and yeah, he's a runaway match winner, but not the same quality in a Test cricket. But today I'll take my words back, Prince, because the
Yes.
inning that we've showed, that winning that we saw today was something else that we couldn't expect from player like Josh Butler, because he's someone who can hit you for six, though your name is Mitchell Stark. It doesn't matter. But yeah, today he was leading the ball, defending the ball, and yeah, impressed.
So these are some of the statistics about Josh Butler. He just scored 26 runs in 207 balls, two fours, at the strike rate of 12.56, and he got hit wicket to Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson.
But uh, the guy who can score 26 run in 1 over, he took 207 balls to score that. Uh, People, so there's a speciality of Test cricket, we can say.
Definitely.
Wrapping up the show, I would like to say that there are some tough challenges awaiting for this English cricket side in the next 4 or 5 weeks that they will play in Australia. Because when you play Ashes, you are not just playing those 11 players, you are playing against the whole country. So currently, England are not competing with those 11 players, those 11 champions on the field. They are competing uh, the whole against the whole population of 2 crore and 50
Australia.
lakh of Australia in their own home turf. They will be sledged, they will be challenged at every point uh, in this next three test matches. There's a big occasion when it comes to Boxing Day test. Melbourne will host this match again as they do every year, and then there will be a New Year test coming after, and Hobart is also getting an opportunity to do the same. But in this amazing week of cricket, England will definitely need to come out of this. And Australia, with regards to the perspective of Australia, they need to stamp their authority against them and create those nightmares that they created in 2013-14, when Mitchell Johnson was just
The hero.
running through the English batting attack. It's been almost 12,000 or 13,000 balls since the Australian team last won, or the test match in Australia. So it's been, sorry, there's some mistake
53,000.
here. Yes, there's been total 53,615 deliveries of Ashes since England last won a test match in Australia. Um, they last won it in 2010, when Andrew Strauss was the captain, and Alistair Cook and Kevin Peterson. created those masterclass innings. But they need to again create that. Yes, Divya. Anything, any predictions you have about the next test match in the Boxing Day? The year is
Uh,
coming to the end,
yes,
so yeah.
definitely. First, it's an easy prediction. Rory Burns is not playing the next test match. First, second, you know what, Prince? I'm impressed by a guy named Travis Head, because he's the only guy who scored effortlessly boundaries in first two test matches. Because uh, if you look at his strike rate, it's around it's very near to 100. So I'm predicting that it could be the ashes of Travis Head.
But here, there's a good point. Actually, we haven't talked about Travis Head. I think there's a kind of a tactical or a technical thing when it comes to Travis Head scoring at those hefty rates, because in this last two test matches, or the 3 or 4 innings that Australia played, they have got a good start by their middle order. So either Manas Labuschagne or Steven Smith or David Warner
Warner.
are trying to rotate the whole inning, or trying to um, dominate their batting. So when Travis Head is coming, he is having a kind of a less pressure to score, and that is helping Travis Head in a great way, I think. So I want to see that. I don't know if that situation will be created in this Ashes or not, but the real test of Travis Head would be when there is 50 for 4, or 70 for
40 for
4,
3. Yes.
40 for 3. That would be a tricky kind of a situation, uh, because that similar kind of situation that we saw in the last summer, where India was touring, specifically the Boxing Day test in Melbourne, that India are trying uh, to get the win against them. So, but currently he's doing really good. Even Alex Carey has impressed a lot of people in Australia and in the worldwide with his wicket keeping skills. And Jai
Yeah,
Richardson
Richardson. Yes, definitely. The
uh,
fifer that he took. Yes, his
in
first
the
fife.
end innings.
Yes, yes. It was his first fifer. Yeah, first Ashes fifer. I'll say. Yeah, he was promising. He was amazing, and especially the delivery that took away Chris Wokes was something else.
That that was a Jaffa,
Jeff. It was a Jeff.
as Nasser Hussain says.
Yeah.
So, anyways, uh, so ending the show, we'll not definitely tell that in the coming week we are either creating the content of uh, the Ashes or not, but we are definitely covering the India South Africa series in the coming week, the Boxing Day test at Centurion. The focus should not shift from that series. It is a great thing that the series is happening in South Africa, in spite of having all those risks and all. Uh, let's hope that that series uh, get done without the scares of COVID. And the first test match will going to start on 26th of December, the Boxing Day test, and we will going to be live for that probably on 23rd or 24th in Hindi. We'll try to do the series preview and the preview of the first match. Till then, follow CrickChat24 on Instagram, subscribe our channel, and do mention in the comment section how did you find the live session that we did today. It was the first English session. Another video is also coming up on the channel about the retirement of AB de Villiers. Uh, you must be thinking that it took a long time for posting that video, but when it comes to AB de Villiers, he had created some of the masterpieces for us in his big career of 16 years. And now it is time for us to create some masterpieces for him. So I had tried to create one again in the English language. So that video will be on the channel in 1 or 2 days maximum. So enjoy that. Give your suggestion, and give your favorite moments of AB de Villiers in that video. Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you, Divya.
Yes.